What it do, world? Hey, shit, the grind don't stop. Hey, it's gonna be noise in the background a little bit, but that ain't nothing though. Melly though, they treating this nigga like he Hoover, man. This nigga ain't got to see his mother, nigga, unless it was court. This nigga ain't got to make a phone call to nobody, none of that. Like, what? Ain't that violating a nigga rights? Type of shit is that, man? But this nigga lawyer wasn't playing no games. The nigga lawyer was ready to put hands and feet on that goddamn judge, straight up, man. Real talk. But hey, we're gonna watch this shit together, man. Check this shit out.
It's the one portion of this case that I took on and actually have been, lots of money was put into training me on this very issue of these phones, right? So I know what they would have got off of this iCloud. They would have got information regarding my emails. I'm assuming there's further emails warrants to my email accounts. I am concerned, going off what he says, that there's communications between my experts. Almost all my communications are on my emails with my experts, motions, depositions from other cases. So there will be further inquiry to that, and I think we're granted to that. But looking at the court's own order, you had, and I forget the name of the case, but the basis was saying that it's been, what, 14, 15 months at this point? There's no imminent arrest. So I read it as you're finding that there is no criminal investigation, and that was the basis of not letting us have the affidavit. The initial time was.
That's not correct. If this was the statute, the state would have been right. I just found that the state hasn't done anything, and based on the particular procedural posture of this case, whatever it is that they got as a result of this, they got it over a year ago. So if they wanted to charge you with something or arrest you, they've had a year to do that. I'm not going to sit around and wait for them to make that decision. They obviously haven't made the decision. The statute says if there was an ongoing case, you wouldn't be entitled to any of it.
Okay, fair enough, Judge.
So I'm just complying with what the statute says.
May I speak?
Sure.
When we were here the first time on the case, I'm the one that brought it forward, the motion, and you asked me what my authority was. I had cited to the court the case of Rutledge versus State, 150 Southern 3rd, 830, 2014. You asked me what my specific authority was, and I said the 6th Amendment and the 14th Amendment. I'd like to read from Rutledge, if I may. At the risk of being redundant, we once
So this is Melly lawyer, right?
again emphatically state that when a pretrial disclosure of possible conflict of interest is raised, the trial court must either conduct an inquiry to determine whether the asserted conflict of interest will impair the defendant's Sixth Amendment right or appoint separate counsel. So with all due respect to this court, Your Honor, that's your job, is to find out whether or not there is a conflict and for you to help in the investigation. We don't have the power. Without the court's help, we'll never know if there's a conflict until possibly it's too late. So you are the person that is supposed to look into the matter for us.
I don't agree with you at all, sir. Your case says Mr. Demons is entitled to be told that there's an ongoing investigation. There is an ongoing investigation, and I told him that the last time I had a discussion with him directly. After that, Figueroa.
So this lady been under investigation. This lady right here next to Melly for a year, and they still ain't said what it's about or nothing. You know what I mean? They trying to figure that shit out. And the Melly attorney, goddamn it, is telling the judge, man, you gotta do your job, dog. You gotta straight up do your job, man. Real talk.
Santa Bria completely controls. This is a death penalty case. He's a death penalty defendant. It's his decision.
Yes, but it says here the trial court must either conduct an inquiry to determine whether the asserted conflict of interest will impair the defendant's Sixth Amendment right or appoint separate counsel.
Well, that's Mr. Demons' decision, and the last time you all got almost hysterical that you didn't even want me to talk to him about it. Do you want me to talk to him about it today?
But you have not conducted any inquiry, with all due respect.
The inquiry is with your client, sir.
No.
It's not my job to investigate.
Man, the judge acting like he working with the state, man. Real talk. He working with them, man. Just like the rest of them, man. You talking about he got a death penalty case, nigga. You don't act like it, nigga.
The trial court must either conduct an inquiry.
Yeah, that's with Mr. Demons. That's the inquiry.
Well,
I can tell him there's a conflict. There's a conflict, all right? The same law enforcement agency the same state attorney's office that's trying to impose a death penalty on him is conducting a criminal investigation against one of his lawyers. So I can save you all that trouble. There obviously is a conflict. whether Mr. Demons wants this service.
And this nigga they done had this little nigga locked up for what, about 5 years now? Come on, man, with no outside communication, no business, no nothing, man. Like this nigga is one of them. What? Yeah, he probably did something wrong, but hey, that's for the courts to figure out. That ain't for us to put our 2 cents in, real talk. Straight up.
To continue or all of you to continue, that's his decision, but there's nothing else I can do about it. You all conduct whatever investigation you want. What is it you want me to do, Mr. Anderson? You want to start deposing witnesses?
Deposing witnesses, have
You
inquire.
want me to start deposing witnesses?
I want you to inquire of the state what evidence that they have of a conflict, so we know, in fact, that there's a conflict or not.
The state says there's a conflict too. You
Well,
read their pleading.
they say my client, they say my client's guilty, but he's entitled to a trial first.
They filed a motion that said I'm supposed to remove her. They think I get to decide who's Mr. Demons' lawyer is, not Mr. Demons. I couldn't agree with that. I couldn't disagree with that more. It's his decision.
I believe, as the court, you have an obligation to ferret out what the conflict is so that we can make an informed decision. Right now, we can make no decision. Right now, we can file no motions because we don't know whether we're subject to the conflict at all. Right now, our hands are tied. It's up to the court. You're the gatekeeper for all. I'm imploring the court to find out what the nature of the conflict is so that we can advise our client. Right now, you're just saying to our...
They just holding this case up, man. That's all they doing, man. Holding this little nigga on trial, man, and keep playing games, man. When they ain't got shit, this is exactly what they do, man. Real talk, man. Doing this little nigga like that.
Client, hey, the state says there's a conflict, so you could get rid of your lawyer or keep your lawyer. That's not enough. That's not a Sixth Amendment protections. You want him to make a decision in a vacuum. This is a murder case.
Sir, with all due respect, this isn't a vacuum. He can sit down with Miss Liberty, and you can sit down with Miss Liberty. She's well aware of who she's emailed. She's well aware of who she's called. She's well aware of what's on these records. So talk to your... It's incumbent on you all to fully inform your client. That's not my job. That's your job.
Nigga, but you the one that's goddamn it holding it up by not even seeing what the conflict is about, my nigga. Like, how you work together, man? That shit crazy. This little nigga been on trial for how long now? And y'all and no solution. Just keep on new court date. Nah, man, y'all violating this little nigga rights, dog. And that's just what it is, man. Even the attorneys is fed up. And you making it seem like you on his side, but nigga, you ain't on his side, man. For real. If y'all ain't got it together, why y'all ain't got this little nigga a bond to get out? Because y'all already know, man. That shit's sad, man. Hey, leave y'all comments, man. Subscribe to the channel, man. Y'all know what it is with me. I'm out.